Hello and welcome to our show. My name is Karl Bardos. I'm director of Hungarian American Television. That is a program right here on community media. And I do this show together with my good friend, Jules. And every week we have a program here, but we have many different involvements. And one involvement that I really want to talk about is that Jules is working at the Knickerbocker Senior Center, and they set up their table tennis and ping pong
Aerobic
and exercise. And we have two seniors from the center.
Yes.
And I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Carol McCabe, and I'm one of the directors at the Senior Center. And since Jules has come on board with us and introduced ping pong to the seniors, it's been very helpful, very much.
My name is Violet Torres. I live at Knickerbocker Plaza. I attend the Senior Center, and I play ping pong, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the exercise. I enjoy what we do in the Senior Center with Jules and with Dora, and it's very enjoyable. It's very good for me. I'm not a young person, but I enjoy being at the Senior Center and being with Jules.
So Dora, who is from Hungary and a champion in ping pong, is actually, you are an instructor there.
Yes, I'm an instructor as well.
And they are living proof that this is good from age 8 to 98. You're not 98.
Not yet.
But
Soon, yeah.
Not yet.
so how does this work to all age groups?
Well, the good things about ping pong or called table tennis that anyone can play regardless from their age. So it's a great sport for everyone because you just need a racket, a table, a ping pong ball, and a partner to play with. And it has great effects on the physical activity and also for the brain, for fitness, and it's even fun. And yeah, so it's a great sport.
If I'm correct, this whole thing originated basically from your father.
Yes, and that goes back into the late 60s, early 70s, when he organized the very first something unique in New York at the World Trade Center, an exhibition of high, very strong table tennis players, and we had like 1,500 people standing around watching. And we had 5 or 6 of the country's best people doing exhibitions. And that's where this whole thing started materializing in a way that it developed into what it is today as far as the concept is concerned, which is actually aerobic ping pong put to music, taking the moves from the sport and applying it to music for exercise.
Well, the connection between music and ping pong, actually between radio and ping pong, ran at the center of your father's life. Actually, he was a colleague of mine because as I started Hungarian television, he was doing Hungarian radio. How many years?
47 years he did that.
47 years he was doing Hungarian radio, Hungarian American radio. So when I started Hungarian television, we became very good friends.
Yes, absolutely.
And,
Like
and
a second dad to me almost.
And this is so touching for me that you really continuing that tradition, both sides. You're doing radio, you're doing television with us right here at the community center, and also that you are continuing the line of the ping pong.
Of the sport, yeah.
But I think now it goes beyond just playing ping pong, right?
Yes, because it's incredibly healthy. It keeps me actually in the type of shape that I am, and the ladies in
Yes.
their shapes. And
Absolutely,
It's true.
yes. It's amazing, especially the exercise that Dora
is leading.
was teaching us, and I thought it was fantastic. I think it's great for your mind, especially at our age. I'm not a young chick, but I love it. I think the exercise is great, and I think they're wonderful.
What do you think of the concept that it is not just playing ping pong, but it also has music and exercise in it?
Well, I think it's a great addition to it, and I think that will encourage the people to come and play ping pong. right now we have a number of people that do come to the senior center that are in their 70s and 80s playing ping pong. And if there's music or whatever on, it encourages them more to play more and they enjoy it better.
Are there other seniors at the center who play there?
Yes, we do. We have 3 or 4 couples that come every week, like 3 or 4 times a week to play, an hour each time. And they're up in age, they're 70s and 80s.
And Violetta, how often you go there and how long are you playing in one session?
I don't play a whole session because when Jules puts we have the ping
Robot.
pong table and he puts the robot, it's great. You know, I could do fantastic, but I haven't really played with somebody else yet. I tried, and I used to play it when I was young. When you're young, you do it a lot of things, but as you get older, I really haven't played it. But when he puts the robot, it's great. I mean, I tried to do it with Jules at one time, and I think I was pretty good.
Yes.
Not great, but I think I was pretty good, and I really enjoy that. And maybe we play, 20 minutes? I enjoy the movements that Dora was teaching us.
So Dora, how do you
great.
deal with them? How do you work with them? How do you introduce the differences between working with robotics as opposed to actually playing with another partner?
Well, I mean, it's very different, but everything is about space repetition. So how we are working, basically, I'm teaching them the strokes as many times as, we have to work on the strokes.
That's
and
right.
they are learning very
It
quickly.
takes time.
Yeah,
It
but
takes
they're
time.
learning very quickly.
But
I'm very impressed with them.
Absolutely, it takes time.
They're doing
because
a
we're not
great
young.
job.
Happy you're impressed.
We're older.
But it's not a rocket science,
Yeah.
right?
No.
No.
It's about
It's a lot of
space
fun, though. It is a lot of
Yes,
fun,
it's about
yeah.
space repetition and teaching
And it's
some
good for your body. You
techniques.
feel, I mean,
Yeah.
I personally feel better myself, physically and mentally. That's right, play.
So what is the schedule there?
Well, they have a...
It's different.
We have a
Every
schedule in the
day.
morning and then in the
Yes,
afternoon, but
yes,
usually
yes.
we're there
So
from
when
like
is it
10 to 3.
available for the seniors there?
Is it 10 to
Between
3?
10 to 3.
10 to 3 every day.
Every day?
Every
yes,
weekday.
Monday to Friday. And then occasionally on weekends, if someone needs to use it, they
But
come
you have
on
to
the
understand, it's mostly for people that live on the premises. It's a
Right.
complex, a building complex.
Yeah, it's-
So the way we do it is we can bring in friends, but it's mostly for the people that live on the
Yeah.
premises.
weekend. Yeah, the 3
But in
developments.
general, referring to this whole concept, what we did is we took aerobic ping pong and we transferred it a step further to combine it with music and dance. And that's where this whole exercise routines are coming from. It's coming
But that's
from the
exactly
sport. Yeah.
what I wanted to ask you. What is the genesis of this idea that actually moves beyond ping pong and now becomes really a kind of a ping pong dance exercise for
Exactly, yeah.
anybody?
In fact, that's the name.
How did this come about?
Realize that when you bounce a ball, it has like a beat. So if you applied it to music and you're hitting a ball back and forth on the table, that has a rhythm. So we thought that we could take that rhythm and put it to some kind of movement dance. So what we decided to do is take the sport and use movements from the sport to do the exercises. And this is for everybody. It's not for ping pong players. It's for all people who want to do any kind of exercise. It's called aerobic progressive exercise. And the reason why it's progressive is because it starts with very minimal kind of movements that anybody can do and goes into the higher movement where it's combined with dance and other types of sports actually in movement to music.
So that's a challenge for you. How did you then figure out like some kind of a exercise choreography that would actually would become a workout for practically every part of the body?
Yeah, so I mean, actually, this exercise has a benefit. You don't need a table or another partner, so you can do it by yourself. It's already an advantage of this program. And basically, just doing the basic strokes, it's great for the program. And on one hand, it's good for your body, and you work out, but on the other hand, you also learn about table tennis or ping pong, because by doing the stroke, you're doing space repetition. So if you do this, your table
actually
tennis
learning
even
the sport.
going to be better. So for me, I was just basically applying the basic table tennis strokes in you know,
Into the exercise.
yes, into the exercise, and we basically just started with that, just with the basics to build some foundations.
Now there's some talk about schools adopting this. Can you
Yeah,
elaborate
schools,
on that?
it's
Yeah.
not just seniors,
Yeah,
it's any age, so it's even great for kids as
So
well.
we plan to get this into schools,
Yes.
to young kids. Yeah.
It's great.
And I
That's
noticed that you had certain movements specifically for the legs.
Yes.
Am I
yeah.
correct?
For the arms, legs.
Yes,
the
arms,
arms,
legs, and
legs.
these are basically the basic table tennis strokes.
Move.
So what we did was forehand and backhand and some footwork. Yeah.
But the real challenge in this, which I think it will work, is to convince not only schools, in my opinion, would be perfect for corporations as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because in every corporation, let me put it this way, not only corporations, that every workplace would like their employees to take a break and have some kind of an exercise and movement,
Activity. yeah.
especially those who mostly do their work sitting. And so
Oh,
for
wow.
them, it's almost,
That's right.
you know, a relief at certain points to get up and do that. The challenge would be that why do that with ping pong? And I believe that's connected also that you have an invention that inside they can
Yes,
put
the
their
phone.
no, they can put their
The
phones.
Uh-huh.
Can you explain that?
Okay, we have something called, that's now a patented product here in the US, called the Progressive Weighted Aerobic Ping Pong Racket, which now has a code name, which is called Sir. And as you notice in the music, when you'll be hearing the actual music, yes sir, it's like a yes sir. Sir is the Smart Innovative Racket. That's the shirt that I have here.
Okay.
And what it is, it's a cell phone cover without the phone. If you put the phone in it, it becomes a Smart Innovative Racket. And it has numerous functions, which the brochure that I think you have here, this is a pre-brochure, and it will describe the product later on when we have the actual brochure for it. The cell phone becomes an interviewing device, it becomes a selfie, it becomes an exercise device, and there's about 15 things in that brochure that it describes what you can do with it. The power of the phone is inside the racket. Down the road, we will have an app which will actually teach you the strokes of table tennis through the app. And then as you do the strokes at the table, your strokes will be measured by the app.
Okay.
That's to assist learning table tennis. So you can take the world champion and copy his strokes, plot his strokes in the app, and then try to imitate the world champion's strokes. So you're learning the sport.
You told me earlier, and it's very logical, that the phone in the racket could actually supply the kind of music they want to listen to.
Absolutely,
Right?
yes.
So that like their own individual music library would be with them.
That you can take on a jog, for instance. Have it here and you're jogging, meanwhile you're taping around like this. You're jogging through Central Park. If you see something, you just pull it out and go like this. And you have the selfie, the jogging movements, and everything to go along with it.
Having a smartphone in the racket,
Yes, Carl.
the smartphone actually can be programmed not only by they're playing music, but you can put voiceover over that. That would supply memory.
Memories
In
to
other
them.
words, where they're playing,
To the,
they can walk on memory lane. They can actually use that really therapeutically
Yes.
for people
Right.
with dementia.
You're right, you're
That is
absolutely
an
right, yes.
unbelievably
I mean-
important point
Yes.
that you just brought up.
It's therapeutic now
Absolutely.
without that. I mean, they've just come into play. It's therapeutic because they
Sure.
see the change in them. They remember things. Where's the ping pong balls, or how do I hit this, or the actions and everything. But they recall.
We didn't think about this aspect, but we were talking with Jules and Dora the other day about that the presence of the smartphone in the
This is the
racket
product.
Yeah, it's a great
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
could be also a source to put actually the player into virtual reality. But what they were saying is incredibly important from the point of medicine, because to use that, to put somebody in virtual reality and use the smartphone and the exercise and the dance exercise at the same
Everything.
time,
Yes.
supply them with memory backup.
Yes.
That is actually a treatment for dementia.
Yes, it is.
So these are very important points that we
Yes.
covered, because these are the points that would justify and lift the ping pong racket beyond
So to be
That's
honest,
and
true.
be used all over
Right.
for
For
many
different-
other
yeah,
purposes.
Right, sure.
yeah, okay. gotta
We are also very lucky because Dora is not only a player.
I have a master's degree in psychology and sports psychology as well, and I'm working with athletes and professionals as well. But just going back to table tennis or ping pong is great for health purpose. So it's great against dementia, Alzheimer, Parkinson.
Parkinson's
So
disease,
it has
that's right.
many great health effects, and there are even studies for that.
But is it
proved as
equally
well.
good for very small children?
And it's very good for very small children as well. It really helps with the hand-eye coordination in general, and actually it's even good against ADHD, so attention deficit disorder as well, because the kid has to only focus on a ball, and just focusing on a ball that helps with the actually with some
I can
brain
imagine that-
activities. as
I
well.
can imagine that it might be good for autism.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
True.
it's
So,
correct.
That's right.
congratulations on this. Well, as you can see, this is now, we are at the birth of a movement, a truly revolutionary movement that I believe will sweep the nation and even internationally, because there is a very beautiful harmony between ping pong, dance exercise, that's good for all ages, corporations, schools, senior centers, for all of us. Thanks for your attention.